So good day, everyone. Today, I will be answering questions from the chapter 6 and the chapter 7 from our software quality assurance book. So let us now start. So first is for the chapter 6 questions entitled the development and quality plans. For the first question, explain the objectives of development and quality plans. So this is my answers. For the objective of the development plan and the quality plan, planning is a process and has several objectives, each of which is meant to prepare adequate foundations for the following. First is scheduling development activities that will lead to the successful and timely completion of the project and estimating the required manpower, resources, and budget. Second, recruiting team members and allocating development resources according to activity schedules and manpower resource requirement estimates. Third, resolving development risk. Four, implementing required SQA activities. Fifth, providing management with data needed for project control. For the second question, identify the element of the development plan. The elements of the development plan. Based on the proposal materials, the project development plan is prepared to fulfill the above objective. The following elements, each is applicable to different project component. First element is the project product. The development plan includes design documents specifying dates of completion, software products which includes the completion date and the installation site, the training task which also includes dates, the participants, and also the sites. Second element is the project interfaces. The development plan include interfaces with existing software interface with other software or hardware development teams that are working in the same project, interfaces with existing hardware. Third element is the project methodology and development tools that is going to be applied to in every phase of the project. Fourth is the software development standards and procedure. A list should be prepared of the software development standards and procedures to be applied in a project. Fifth is the mapping of the development process, which it involves providing detailed description of each project phases. So this activity description includes three um, factors. First is estimate of activity duration. Second is the description of each activities. And lastly is the type of professional resources required. For the sixth element, it includes the project milestone. So for each milestone, its completion time and project products with the document and the code are needed to be defined. For the seventh element, project staff organization comprises. This includes organizational structure, which includes the project team and their task, the professional requirements, the experiences and the certificates of the team members that are included in the project, the number of the team members according to each activities and according to their um, role and responsibility, the name of team leaders and the team members, coordination with external participants. Eight is the development facilities. It required development facilities and the period required for its use. Ninth is the development risk. Includes technology gap, which is the lack of sufficient professional knowledge. The risk also includes the staff shortage, which is really um, not new in any development team. The interdependence of organizational which a supplier of specialized hardware or software wherein not full, wherein they were not able to fulfill their obligation and the schedule and on the team. Next is the control methods. In order to control project implementation, the project manager apply a series of monitoring practices when preparing progress reports and coordinating meetings. And lastly, the 11th element is the project cost estimation, which is based on the proposal cost estimates followed by continuous relevance review. So these are the elements of the development plan and the quality plan. So next is we're going to proceed to the third question from our chapter 6. So identify the elements of quality plan. So these are the elements of the quality plan. But before I start, I would like to clarify that the elements that I was mentioned before, the 11 elements, was included to the development plan. So this one is for the quality plan. So first is the quality goals. The term quality goals refers to the developed software system substantive quality requirements. So the quality goal should reflect the major acceptance criteria indicated in the customer's requirement document. Examples are the RFP document. As such, quality goal serves as measure of the successful achievement of the customer's quality requirements. Next is the second element includes the planned review activities. The quality plan should provide a complete listing of all planned review activities, the design reviews, the design inspections, the code inspections, and so on. The following determined for each activity. This activity includes the scope of the review activity, the type of the review activity, the schedules of the review activity as defined by its priority in the succeeding activities of the project process. Next is the specific procedures to be applied. And lastly is who is the responsible for carrying out the review activity. Third element is the planned software test. The quality plan should provide a complete list of planned software tests with the following designated for each test. So the unit integration or the complete system to be tested. It also includes one, the type of testing activities to be carried out, including the specification of computerized software tests to be applied, the planned test schedule is defined by its priority and the succeeding activities of the project's process, the specific procedures to be applied, and of course, who is the responsible for the test. Next is the planned acceptance test for externally developed software. A complete list of acceptance tests planned for externally developed software should be provided within the quality plan. Items to be included are the purchased software, the software developed by subcontractors, and the customer supplied software. The acceptance test for internally developed software should parallel those used for internally developed software tests. The fifth element is the configuration management. The quality plan should specify configuration management tools and procedures, including those change control procedures meant to be applied throughout the project. So those are the elements of the quality plan. Fourth and the last question from our chapter 6 of the software quality assurance book is to discuss the benefits of preparing development and quality plans for internal projects. It is recommended that internal projects undertaken on behalf of other departments and for development of software packages geared towards the market be treated as regular projects. So this implies that full-scale development and quality plans are to be prepared. So their benefits include the development department will avoid losses incurred by unrealistic timetables and budgets, as well as the consequent damage to other projects and to the firm's reputation. It also includes the internal customer, that they will enjoy reduced risk of late completion and budget overruns, in addition to and by improved project control and coordination with the developer. Benefit includes also the firm, that they will enjoy reduced risk of its software products late entry into the market, reduced risk of decline in its reputation resulting from late supply, and reduced risk of budget overruns. So that um, that's all for the chapter 6 questions, and let us now proceed to our chapter 7 questions, which is the chapter is entitled Integrating Quality Activities in the Project Life Cycle. So for the first question, describe the various software development models and discuss the differences between them. Four models of software development process are discussed in this chapter. First is the software development life cycle, or the SDLC model. Second is the prototyping model, the spiral model, and the object-oriented model. Those are the four models of the software development process. So the classic SDLC model is a linear, consequential model comprising several phases, beginning with requirements definition and concluding with regular system operation and maintenance. So at the end of each phase, outputs are reviewed and evaluated by the developer, as well as in many cases by the customers. So the outcomes ranges from the approval of the phase result and continuation to the next phase. So to demands to correct, redo, or alter parts of the respective phases. First is the waterfall model. It can be viewed as the basic framework for the other models, which can be considered as the complementary and represents the different perspectives of the process, or as it referring to the diverse development context. So according to the prototyping methodology, the developed system users are required to comment on versions of the software prototypes prepared by the developers. And the developers thereafter correct the prototyping and incorporate additional parts into the system. So this process is repeated till the software system is completed or till the goal of the prototyping is achieved. And the main advantage of prototyping over the SDLC model for small to medium-sized projects are the shorter development process, substantial savings in development resources, better fit to the customer requirements, and reduced risk of project failure, and also clearer user comprehension of the new system. Um, so the spiral model provides an improved methodology for larger and more complex projects. This improvement is achieved by introducing and emphasizing elements of risk analysis and customer participation in the development process. And each of the model's iteration includes planning, the risk analysis and resolution, the engineering, and also the customer evaluation. The advanced spiral model, or the win-win model, places extra emphasis on the communication and negotiation between customer and the developer. The customer wins by improving chances to receive a system that satisfies most of his needs, while the developer wins by improving chances of completing the project within budgetary and timetable constraints. And the object-oriented model deals with the situation of intensive reuse of software components. And according to this model, the development process begins with a sequence of object-oriented analysis and design activities. The design phase is followed by acquisition of reusable software library together with regular development of the unavailable of software components. So the copies of newly developed software components are stocked in the library for future reuse. For the second question, explain the different aspects of verification, validation, and qualification of quality assurance activities. So the quality assurance activities examines the three different aspects of quality by means of software products verification, validation, and qualification. Verification examines the consistency of current development activities with the products from previous phases. Doing so enables the examiner to confirm whether the developer has fulfilled his requirements while disregarding deviations from original requirements that may have arisen during the development. Next is the validation. Validation represents the customer's interest by examining the extent to which the customer's original requirements have been fulfilled. And lastly is the qualification, which focuses on operational aspects, where maintenance is the main issue. Qualification reviews project application of professional standards and coding procedures based on the assumption that applying these standards facilitates maintenance. So these quality assurance activity planners are required to determine which of these aspects should be examined in each of the planned quality assurance activities. So for the third question, which is to describe the model of SQA, or the software quality assurance, defect, removal effectiveness, and cost. So the model deals with two quantitative aspects of SQA plan designed for a specific object. First is the total effectiveness of defect removal, and second is the total cost of defect removal. The model is based on the following assumptions. The development process is linear and sequential, which is a waterfall model, and the number of new defects are introduced in each development phase. Various review and test software assurance activities serve as filters, removing a percentage of the entering defects while allowing the rest to pass the next software assurance activity. Incoming defects are some of the defects passed from the former quality assurance activity together with new defects created in the current development phase. And the cost of defect removal is calculated by multiplying the number of defects removed by the relative cost of removing a defect. And defect passed to the customer will be detected by him or her. Their full removal of this phase will incur heavy costs. So that is all for our software quality assurance questions from the discussions from our classmates when they had the report that were presented weeks ago. So that is all for my answers from the chapter 6 and the chapter 7 questions. Thank you so much.